Hey y'all, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to do a crochet baby cardigan. This is a pattern project, but my beginners can follow along too. I am going to be using the Red Heart Super Saver yarn, and I do have some thoughts about this yarn. I'll let you know kind of at the end what I feel about this yarn. But this is a 4-weight acrylic yarn that, really inexpensive. I used a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. This is a Susan Bates soft grip, and I absolutely love this crochet hook. You need some scissors, some stitch markers are going to be very helpful for this project. You'll need a yarn needle, and you'll also need a measuring tape. Now, measuring tape is going to be really imperative anytime you're doing a garment of some sort. So on the screen here, you'll see 3 items that I've already created. That is because I'll be doing 2 of the items on camera, because of course when you're doing a cardigan, you're going to have identical pieces. You have 2 sleeves, you have 2 lapels, so I'm going to show you how to do those things on camera. Okay, so this right here is our back panel, which is also our sleeve. The same pattern that we use for the back panel is the same pattern that we're going to use for the sleeve. So let's just look real quickly at the lapel. So the lapel is going to be worked differently than our sleeves and our back panel, and I'm going to get into that right now, but just know that that's going to lay on top of the back paneling. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we're showing here is the lapel. This is what we're going to use to actually, go over the chest area. I'm going to show you how to make the lapel. I've already made one. I'm going to do the second one here on camera for the most part. Okay, I'll get you started. I'm going to start by making yourself a slip knot. Now, I always kind of go slow here because I do want the beginners among us to understand how to crochet projects that, maybe some more experienced crocheters know how to do. So my goal is to show my beginners how to make the same type of things that some of the more advanced crocheters make, but from a beginner standpoint. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by making ourselves our foundation chain. Our foundation chain is going to be a total of 20, and this should measure approximately 7 1/4, 7 1/2 inches long. Okay, so just yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through. Yarning over, of course, it's just putting the yarn behind the crochet hook and pulling through the loop. So you'll do that until you reach a number 20, or until you reach 20 stitches. Okay, and I sped it up just a little here because I don't want to miss out on all the other good stuff. So this is what your foundation chain should look like. And let's go ahead and start on our first row of the lapel. You're going to insert your crochet hook right into that first stitch, not the one where your crochet hook is, but that very next available stitch. You're going to go ahead and place your crochet hook, and you're going to do a single crochet stitch. So insert your crochet hook, pull through, yarn over, and pull through the loops. And you'll continue doing this all the way down the row. You'll have a total of 19 single crochet stitches. Okay. And I won't stay on camera the whole time doing this, but you're just going to do a chain, basically a single crochet stitch all the way down until you get to the end of the row. And then I'm going to meet you back there and show you what we do next. So that's what it's looking like. Okay, we're getting very close to the end here. I want you to count your stitches. Make sure that you have a total of 19. Okay, good, perfect. Looks good. That's what it should look like. Okay, guys, go ahead and insert your crochet hook back into your project, and let's go ahead and continue. Chain 2 and then turn your work. Now we are going to be doing the herringbone stitch. Now I did a tutorial on my channel on how to do the herringbone. If you don't know how to do it, please check out that tutorial, but I will show you here how to do a herringbone stitch. So just follow along here and I'll walk you through it a couple of times. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, find your next stitch, see it there. Okay, yarn over, insert your crochet hook into that second stitch. We've already done one, just like that. You're going to pull it back through, pull your crochet hook back through, bringing that yarn back through with it. You'll have 3 loops on your crochet hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through again, just the top loop, yarn over, and then pull through both loops. That is a herringbone stitch, and the cool thing about this stitch is it everything kind of leans to the side. It has a little tilt to it, and I really like that for this project. It just kind of gives it a different look. Continue doing a herringbone stitch all the way down your second row. Now when you get to the very end, I do a double crochet stitch. I like it. It makes things line up a lot neater, and since we're going to be making a cardigan, I wanted that clean look. So I do a double crochet stitch at the very end. That's just what I'm doing for this project, okay? All right, chain 2, turn your work, and do it all over again. You're going to do a total of 5 rows of herringbone stitches. So you did your first row, which is a row of single crochet stitches, and then you're going to do 5 more rows of herringbone stitches. So you'll have a total of 6 rows completed. You'll have 1 row of single crochet stitches, and then you'll do 5 more rows of herringbone stitches. So that's a total of 6 rows, and then once we're done with that, we'll do 1 more row of single crochet stitches and finish it all off. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Keep working. Okay, I will not stay on camera this whole time, you all, so just continue working. The same thing that we just did in row 2, you'll do it in row 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then on your 7th row you'll do a row of single crochet stitches. So I'm just showing you here that I like the way it lines up when you do that double crochet stitch at the very end. So keep working. And this is what your lapel should look like. So you see it's kind of wide but narrow because we're going to turn it to the side when we go ahead and construct our cardigan. Okay, now moving on, we're going to work our sleeves. We already did the back panel. I'm going to show you how to do the sleeves. Now the sleeves and the back panel are the exact same pattern. So you do a row of you do a chain of 21. I did a chain of 20 plus 1 for a total of 21, and then I'm going to do a row of single crochet stitches. So that's very similar to the lapel that we just finished working. So our 2 sleeves as well as the back panel is going to start the same way the lapel starts, a row of single crochet stitches. Okay, so this is what it should be looking like. When you get to the end, you want to chain 2, turn your work, and then we're going to start our herringbone stitch again. Now you already know how to do the herringbone because we just did it with the sleeve stitches. The pattern, what makes it different than the lapel, is we're going to alternate between the herringbone stitch and the double crochet stitch. Now I don't want that to confuse you. If you don't like the herringbone stitch, you could absolutely do this project using double crochet stitches and it will still turn out beautifully, okay? I just like to put a little bit of variation to my project, a little bit of texture, and that is why I did an alternating row. So your first row is going to be single crochet stitches. Your second row, which is what I'm showing you now, is herringbone stitches. The third row is going to be double crochet stitches, and then you're going to repeat that pattern until you get to the right number of rows. For the back panel, you're going to go for a total of 14 rows, and for the sleeve, you're going to go for a total of 12 rows. So I suggest that you go over to my website, print out the pattern. That way you can know exactly what I'm talking about if it's confusing, okay? When you get to the end of the row, chain 2, turn your work, okay? And now we're going to do our row of double crochet stitches. I hope that makes sense. There's a lot of words, guys. But you're going to do a row of double crochet stitches after you finish your herringbone stitch. Okay, once you finish this, I'm definitely not staying on the camera for the whole thing, guys. You guys would just be bored out of your mind. But you're going to continue this pattern of doing a row of herringbone, a row of double crochet, herringbone stitches, double crochet. The only time you do a row of single crochet stitches is at the beginning and the end of your pattern of your paneling. Okay, so this is what it looks like if you were to do a back paneling. This is what it look like if you do your sleeves. They're the same pattern with the exception of one is a little bit shorter, which is the sleeves. Okay, I'm just showing you here we have completed our final row of double crochet stitches, and we're just going to do a row of single crochet stitches, and this is how you would finish your lapel, this is how you would finish your sleeves, and this is how you would finish your back paneling. You're going to do a row of single crochet stitches, okay? Don't give up. This project, you guys, honestly, the hardest part of this project is the sewing together, and that's only difficult because I'm not a sewer. I'm a crocheter, so I'm not into sewing as much, but it's so rewarding when you finish. So don't give up. You can literally sit down and make these 5 panelings in probably 2 or 3 hours. It's not long at all because this is for a little baby. Now you see here I have finished my paneling and I folded it in half, and you'll see that would make my sleeve. So this is what we have here. We have now a total of 5 things completed. We have 2 sleeves, 2 lapels, and 1 back paneling. See how that looks? It's really, really simple and cool and easy. Okay, so as you can see here, I already have my 2 lapels laying flat on my paneling. I'm going to fold my sleeves and get ready to sew them together. And as you can see, remember when we did that row of single crochet stitches, that is what you see along the sides of the lapel. I also did a row of single crochet stitches along the top part of the lapel so that it all looks really nice, flush, and neat. So basically here, we're just going to get ready to start sewing everything. This is where everything comes together to be able to create the perfect little gift, okay? Once you have everything laid out the way you want it to, see how it looks here? It's so cute. It's so cute. You're going to want to use your stitch markers. This is where you're going to put everything together so that when you pick things up and start sewing it, things do not come apart. Now, there is tons of strings all over the place. I left really long tails so that I can kind of use the tails that are already there to sew everything together. So that's a preference thing. If you don't want to do that, you can obviously you can tear cut off pieces of string from the yarn and sew from that, okay? And really quickly, just make sure that you leave your armhole area big enough for your sleeve to attach, and that's just going to mean that you measure to make sure that it's enough inches on both sides of the sleeve and the opening. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started sewing. Like I said before, this is definitely not a tutorial, but you can watch along here and see what I'm doing. I'm going to just go ahead and cue some music, guys, and let you guys watch me attempt to kind of sew on camera, but please understand the sewing part of this tutorial is non-existent. I'm just showing you all the steps that I did to get it all put together, but I'm not going to teach you how to sew because that would be unfair to you. honestly, it would be unfair to you. So just make sure you sew along the bottom, underneath the little armpit area, and just sew everything together so that the baby can really enjoy their cute little cardigan, you guys. And that's it. I'm not going to stay on camera and belabor the point that I do not know how to sew, but if I can sew, you can too. This is what it looks like, guys, when everything comes together. I did add 2 rows of white single crochet stitches just to line everything out to make it look even more adorable. I think I'm going to try to make some pants for this so you guys can see how it looks like a little set, but this is super cute. Looks like baby doll clothes. Like I said, this is going to be for your 0 to 3 to 6 months. I feel as though, however, the red heart yarn is a little bit, it's a little bit on the stiffer side. So that's what I'll say. It's a little bit stiff. So I think if you really want to get good wear and tear out of this, or you really want it to be able to stretch it for a little bit of a fluffier baby, I would use a softer yarn. I think that would allow for the measurements to be accurate, and you would be able to really use the garment a little bit longer than from that 0 to 3 month time frame. But I think that all has to do with your yarn. This was a really enjoyable project, guys. Any questions, please leave them down in my comment section down below. Head over to my website and pick up that free pattern, and I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.